This is 102.7 Chop FM, and you're listening to ArtsTalk. Good evening, this is 102.7 Chop FM, and you're listening to ArtsTalk. I'm Dave Peters.
I'm Taylor Koss.
And this show is dedicated to bringing the arts to Newmarket. Not just musical arts, although there's always lots of musicians on our show, but any artist practicing any discipline, be they amateur or professional. And if you're in the arts and would like to appear on ArtsTalk, then we'd like to hear from you.
You can get in touch with us by emailing artstalkradio102.7@gmail.com or check us out on Facebook. That's facebook.com/artstalkradio and send us a message there.
Do it. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday at 6 o'clock sharp-ish.
We're pretty spot on today.
Pretty close.
Congratulations, Dave.
I don't know, 3 minutes. See,
Dave drives, so it's always his fault.
This is sloppiness. Just sharp-ish to hear good music and to hear what's going on in the independent arts scene. Mm-hmm. Our guest tonight is singer-songwriter Kyle Pullan. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
So excited to have you here. Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about you.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is why we're here.
Yes. It's exciting because we don't know too much about...
No, I'm kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Are you cultivating that mystery?
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't really been doing my music in Ontario for a really long time, for years. Yeah, like I grew up in Newmarket, mm-hmm. and growing up I did all the punk bands and heavy metal bands.
Was this back in the Josh Gottlieb days, the punk band wars, Northern Band Wars?
We want to go back to that for sure because I'd like to know what bands you were in, just for fun.
Oh, yeah.
But
we'll get back there.
Yeah,
we'll get there. Yeah. So you were here during the big booming punk scene when 300, 400 kids a show coming out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember those days. Those were fun. Those were really fun days.
Right? I went to a few, and they were pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a huge booming punk scene back in that day.
It was, yeah. That was always impressive that so many kids came out to watch us and come hang out and support. Yeah, the scene was really thriving back then. It was really exciting to have been a part of it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And Newmarket would have been, we're 85,000 now, would have been maybe 50,000 people back in that day?
I think it was like 75,000.
I think it was 75,
Was it 75?
So. Yeah.
All right, so this takes us back to the early mid-aughts?
Yep.
And then what happened? You left Ontario?
And then, I left Ontario. It was getting to be a little too much for me. I needed a break, so I moved out west to the mountains out in Canmore, Alberta.
Oh, Canmore's so beautiful.
It's such a beautiful place. And, moving there, there it is.
There we go.
There's the bell.
Every head at 6:05, ladies and gentlemen.
Perfect. Right on cue.
We test the fire alarm here at Pickering. Call it.
I pull the alarm every Wednesday at 6:05. Just kidding.
It's not vandalism when you do it the same week at every time.
Exactly.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
It's a test.
Regulation, okay?
So you moved to Canmore.
Yeah.
Started hunting cougar.
No. I hope not.
No.
They have mountain lions out there, man. They can eat your leg. Those
oh, yeah, no, there's cougars.
Yeah, walking your dog.
It's pretty scary.
That's amazing.
Cougars,
yeah,
bears,
cougar could eat your
elk.
dog, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's for real.
Oh, they wind up in people's backyards.
What?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really different than Ontario.
Cool, wow. That's something else.
Yeah. But, so I moved out there, and it was...
Were you doing music out there, Kyle?
No, not at first.
Really?
The original plan was just something new and different. Okay. And so I wound up there, and it was such a more relaxed, folky vibe that I couldn't find a metal scene or a punk scene, so I grabbed an acoustic guitar and just started kind of fiddling around with that, and that's where I just found this new style of guitar that I got into, which is this instrumental finger-style acoustic guitar, where I'm just a solo musician, and I use the guitar as kind of a full one-man band, and the energy from Canmore, everything out there just put me in the right direction, and I just kind of popped with this style of music and really started to make a name for myself out in Alberta and BC, which was really fun, yeah.
So this is a course of, 5-6 years that you spent out there?
I've been out there almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years.
Yeah, so we'll say 5.
And what brings you back?
Family. I had some family issues that came up, so I've been back for a few months now and kind of taking care of those. And with coming back, I just really wanted to jump back into the music community and share this style of music, which I've never shown in Ontario, because it was always the punk, it was always the drumming and the lead. So I wanted to kind of show what I can do now with my acoustic, and I just really pushed myself hard to get into anywhere I could. and I really broke into like the Markham scene in Stouffville, and I did this really cool winter festival that just passed in Stouffville called Winter Song, which was a lot of fun, and I've been a few showcase artists, and I got another showcase coming up in Uxbridge, so I've really kind of tried to tap into as much as I could. Yeah, which has been a lot of fun. And then playing for all my old friends again, too, which is really fun, too. Yeah.
Newmarket needs more of that sort of, like, there isn't too much of a... There's acoustic jam nights and stuff, but as far as like shows or performances, there isn't so much an outlet for.
There could be more.
Yeah, there really could be more.
Like places like Stouffville and Uxbridge seem to have more.
Well, the Stouffville,
like folk venues or singer-songwriter type showcases, right?
Yeah. And I want to ask too, because you're not really a singer-songwriter, right?
No.
Are you like a songwriter?
Are you playing original music? No?
Not only sing, it's all instrumental.
It's all instrumental and all original music.
Yeah, cool. Very awesome.
Yeah.
But the Stouffville one, that was run by Kevin
Kerr
right?
from the Epidemic Music Group.
He did
the Guinness World Record thing.
Yeah. So I did hear all about that festival.
Which was really cool. So that festival was celebrating the fact that they won and they got that record.
Super cool.
For the world's longest concert held by multiple
artists. What was like
artists.
17 days or something?
Yeah.
Just killer.
Yeah, and it's been confirmed, right? The record was...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got the plaque and everything.
I checked the Guinness Book of World Records at the library the other day, but I didn't see our band name or anything.
You didn't see Rebellion?
I didn't see anything in it. I didn't see any... Like, they might have just... There's probably so many Guinness World Records in the world that they just can't document all of them in those picture books.
But there was about 400 and change bands,
yeah, it's crazy.
Right?
You should see the back of the T-shirts. It's like...
and several played twice. Like, you had two sets, right? And
no, we canceled.
Just the one?
But, yeah.
So I've been calling you a singer-songwriter. You're just a songwriter.
Just a songwriter.
Not
just
you don't
sing.
A songwriter.
You don't sing?
A-R-A.
I tried singing once, and I don't have the voice, and I can't really write. I'm not much of a poet, so I've always loved instrumental music. Mm-hmm. And then with this style of guitar, it allows me to be instrumental and sing through the guitar, and without needing to actually use my voice, which is really fun, and that's kind of what I've always wanted, to be honest, and I guess I found it.
Yeah.
So you can express yourself that way. That's awesome.
Oh, exactly.
How do you transition from the punk sensibility to this?
Well, I think for me, I take a lot of that punk and metal influence with me still. It's my rhythms, my drumming, the technical skills.
The percussive elements of it.
Yeah, and then I take all my technical skills from being a lead guitarist in metal bands, all that shredding, and I kind of take that and I just put that on the acoustic now. And I mix that with some percussion and some new rhythms, and it's a whole new world, which is really cool. Interesting.
Very cool.
Have you heard this picking?
I've seen you in videos. And
you would have seen it
stuff,
online.
So it's really cool. But I didn't know too much about your history, but it makes sense for you to be like a lead guitar player in a metal band after I've seen your recordings, like heard your music. Cause it is. It's kind of like acoustic shredding, but not shredding. Like I think it's like better than shredding. I'm not really the biggest.
I think it's shredding in a sense,
but the percussive. Element to it is like.
Have you invented something? Are you Eddie Van Halen here?
No, I wish.
Everybody wishes they were Eddie Van Halen.
Oh yeah. No, I definitely jumped into a style of music that's been around for a long time. It's very underground. Not really anyone knows about it. When I first got into it, I only knew a couple people around the world, and as I jumped into the community, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds I've connected with, and it's actually a really big genre. It's just nobody knows about it.
Is there a name to the genre?
Fingerstyle.
Fingerstyle.
Yeah.
Fingerstyle.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, and we'll hear lots of it, I hope, in the next hour.
Yeah. So you were lead player,
Yep.
and that's why it lent itself well, or your skills lent itself well to the fingerstyle approach.
I believe so, yeah. And taking all the kind of the melodicness I got from heavy metal, and those skills and that sense of writing really works itself into being instrumental, being able to put a lot of notes together and make sense of them all at once. But as a solo musician, you want to keep a good bass line going with a good lead over top without losing one or the other. And then it's really, I just find it all really connects somehow. And the more and more fingerstylists I meet around the world, they all did the same thing. They all started in metal, and now they're all doing this just like myself, which is really cool. That's another connection we find within each other after the fact. And the more and more I meet, the more and more are all metal, to begin with.
Cool.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, that's funny.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Where's where all the old metal shredders go to die? No, I'm just joking. No.
No, but maybe it's like, it's too loud. I just need a little bit of this. A little bit of this.
For me, yeah, it's kind of I'm getting older. It's kind of a nice way to still really rock out on a guitar and just be a little gentler about it.
It's cool. No, it's very cool.
It is. It's quite neat. So it satisfies your need to be technical. Obviously, you like to.
Oh, yeah.
You like to be a technical player.
Oh, absolutely. Always have been.
And yet, it's not hurting anybody's eardrums.
No. I can play for old folks in their homes. I've played
You go to
weddings.
the senior center and play
Yeah,
a set.
everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Little kids love it. They dance for me in the markets and like. Because it's just always got a catchy, groovy beat, and you throw the percussion, and they want to kind of dance around to it, and so it kind of creates and this attention to like every age gap, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
As a musician, when you want to get, kind of paying gigs, you want to be able to get to like anyone really.
Definitely. And if you're used to the metal genre and the niche
Yeah.
of that, it's kind of hard to. Cater to the old folks.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. I'm really excited to hear it. I want
I'm
to hear
so
some.
excited too. What are we gonna hear? A recorded version first or a live version?
We're gonna hear a recording first, but we're
All
gonna
right.
hear a couple live songs later.
All right.
Which is very exciting.
So what did you do the recordings out in Canmore?
I did, yeah. So I released this album back in October. It took me about 8 months to get it all recorded and kind of make a whole concept out of it. And I recorded it with a friend out there who records all the local acts. And he sat me down in the studio, and he surrounded me with a bunch of really nice microphones, and we just sat in there for a couple of days, and I got to pop out this awesome, my first debut, album, which was really exciting as a solo artist. And yeah, it was just
very exciting. Full length too. That's pretty big too. That's definitely a lot of work.
Yeah, I released an EP a couple years ago.
Okay.
And I did that home recording by myself in my bedroom, and it wasn't quite the sound I wanted because my style developed over the years. Back then, I didn't have any percussion. I was kind of a weaker player, but I needed this EP to get an artist endorsement for a guitar company, and so I just threw this EP together. I'm like, this is real. I made a website, and then I got this really cool artist endorsement, which
Amazing.
was great.
That's a dream for a lot of players.
It is.
Always hear about people
Yeah.
wanting to get into that and it being really difficult. So congrats on that.
Oh, it's super difficult, but thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was really exciting. So that's where that came from. And then the
Cool.
full length was a dream. And I'd say this is the album I've been working towards probably my whole life as a musician.
Wow.
To finally release this to the world, do it properly, put
Beauty.
months and months into the artwork, which was really exciting. And then yeah, here it is. This is my instrumental.
Is this
Guitar.
available online? I want to
Yeah.
see the artwork too. I don't know if I've actually seen it, but is it available on Spotify?
Yeah, it's
that
on
sort of
it's on
thing?
Spotify and I think Google Play and iTunes
Awesome.
and on my website, just everywhere. If you search my name, which is Kyle Pullan, you can find it on all the social media outlets. And
Lovely.
and-
Is there a title to the album?
yes, the album is called Into the Wild.
Into the Wild. Ooh.
Which is what you did,
Yes, exactly.
right?
Makes me think of that
Yeah.
movie, but if there's a way happier ending.
Yes,
Sorry.
exactly.
no one
Way
died
happier.
on Kyle's record.
No.
Yay, happy. Okay.
This is ArtsTalk on 102.7. I'm Dave Peters.
I'm Taylor Koss.
And we are in conversation with guitarist Kyle Pullan. And I think we're going to hear a song. Are we going to hear a song now?
think so.
This song is called Waves. Is there anything we need to know about this song in particular, Kyle?
Nope. I hope
Just-
you enjoy it.
Just listen up.
Yeah.
All right, this is Kyle Pullan with Waves on 102.7 Chop FM. Kyle Pullan with Waves on 102.7 Trop FM. This is ArtsTalk. I'm Dave Peters.
I'm Taylor Koss.
And we are in conversation with Kyle Pullan, who is a guitar player, but plays a particular style.
Yes.
That you call fingerstyle.
Fingerstyle, yes.
Which I'm loving. I'm loving the sound of it. It's very holistic approach to the guitar. As you were just saying off air, you're banging it and hitting it in various places and coaxing different sounds out of it. It's a very full sound. I can see how it satisfies a former shredder because you're really working that guitar.
Oh yeah, no, I don't stop moving any finger or limb pretty much the whole time I'm playing. I think I exert more now than I did as a shredder. I don't know how.
I can believe that. Well, you're covering like 3 different instruments. It's kind of like right?
Yeah,
like
that's
percussion, bass, and guitar.
That's the goal. The original, you want to try and be that one-man band, so you want to try and give every aspect you can into one instrument.
I find it's more vulnerable, but it's tricky. It's difficult to be the only person creating the music in front of people. Like, if you stop, everything stops. So there's nowhere to like hide.
And
so that's really hard too.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest things with when I first started playing this live. I just did not have the confidence. And it took me probably about a year to really build myself up with it because it's tricky. And, I'm not a very talkative person, so I wouldn't say anything into the mic. I would just get up there, I'd play a few songs, I'd walk off stage. But now it's, you want to keep the audience.
Totally, yeah.
And unfortunately with my music, every one of my songs is in a alternate tuning. So I usually spend 30 to 40 seconds between every song tuning my guitar to the next song, so I have to now entertain people or I'm going to lose them. So it's forced me to open up, to be more, I guess, extroverted in front of audiences, and it kind of allows me to just be this different person on stage, which is really exciting.
Where have you gone for that material to realize, okay, I need to talk for 45 seconds here while I tune? Where do you go for that? Are you telling stories about yourself? Are you telling jokes? What are you doing?
I've never been a joke teller. I always try to tell jokes and they don't go over well, which people still laugh at because everyone's focus is on you.
They're laughing at you in that case.
Oh yeah, no, every time. They're not laughing.
Like, oh, he tried to be funny. That's nice.
Oh, that's nice. It's a pity laugh.
Yes, exactly.
Look how hard he's trying.
Oh, that's...
Well, often I will try to explain my song without going into too much detail because all my songs, I want the listener to, as much as I can, have them use their imagination for it. Because there's no words. It's, it's just instrumental. You use your brain to kind of create the story you want. But every song came to me a certain way, and I always try to, explaining that a little bit. And everyone always kind of wants to know about the slapping and the tapping of the guitar, so I explain that in between songs, and which is always...
Cool, yeah,
definitely. And I think I'm fascinated by that, too. Are you not?
I'm totally fascinated by it. I have a question, though. For songwriting, like when you were out west, were you writing in the wilds a lot? Were you writing in outdoors?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just
out by the water. There's some really nice lakes and rivers out there. Out in the mountains because I'm right in the mountains.
Right?
Yeah. You go for a 10-minute hike, you're alone in a mountain, so you just got to keep your eyes open for bears and cougars because they're there. But you find a safe enough spot, you sit under a tree, and you got a whole day of sun and inspiration around you. It's really
cool. It really paints that picture. But I'm super interested in the percussion and everything around this.
And the songwriting
it's super different, unique. It's very awesome.
Were you writing music when you were in your punk metal phase? Were you writing songs back then?
More in the metal, not so much the punk, because I was the drummer in the punk band.
What punk band were you in?
So I was in the Throwaways.
Okay, I remember
way back when we were a band for. My friends Jesse Kovacs, Christopher Ensall, and Adam Kalansky, and we were that band for 5 years straight, I think, and we broke up. We broke up once. We got back together for another year and a half. So altogether, we were there in the scene for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool at the height of it too.
You guys were big. I had only gone to about 3 shows. I was in grade 9 when I was still in Newmarket, and I totally knew who the Throwaways were.
I would say that's because of Chris. He was a showman. When he was on stage, he put on a show. We sucked as a band, but Chris was good.
Did you really suck?
For a long time we did because I had never played drums before. Jesse had never played bass. Chris had never really sang, and Adam was in grade 9. He just started guitar.
My goodness, that's the perfect punk band, isn't it?
And it was.
That was the punk ethos.
Yes.
Wow.
So-
you don't have to be Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Anybody can play.
And then Chris just went on stage and he did his thing, and he just made everyone really entertained.
How was
Yeah.
your drumming by the end? Could you play?
By the end, I could. Yeah. After about 7 years, I finally figured it out.
That's good.
I think our first band practice, I actually learned our first cover song, air drumming, in my apartment before band practice. Yeah, so that was super interesting.
What song was that?
I forget the name. It was by Propaganda, though. I nailed it too. We all did really good, like surprisingly.
Too funny.
So you head out to Canmore thinking you're not going out there to join a band or form a band.
No.
But if you had, it would have been probably a metal band at that time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
How did you come across this approach to playing guitar? Like, what happened? Were you on Google?
It was YouTube. It was YouTube. Yeah, because I was there, and I said I had to find a new way of playing music. So I found the acoustic because it was a folky town, and I'd met some friends. So we did some cover bands where I was just strumming and they'd sing, and we were having fun. And they all eventually left to make their own bands and their own duos, and no one really had time to commit to a band with me. And that's all I've ever wanted. I know I want to do music. So I had to find a way now to do music on my own because I'm not going to not play music, and no one has time for me.
Right.
So I just went online. I Googled really great solo guitar players, and I came across an artist by the name of John Butler who played this beautiful song, and he was tapping his guitar, and I'm like, oh, he's instrumental, and he's doing this really cool beat, and he's pulling it off because he's got a really big name for himself. And then through that video kept kind of referring me to videos I would like, sort of thing, and I did, because I started finding all these amazing musicians that were just doing this beautiful style. And so I just locked myself in my room for a good year and just practiced, because I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is how I can be a musician on my own, because I can't sing either. So it had to be instrumental because I just can't, and I couldn't figure out looping and all those technical
those other ways
things.
to fill out the sound.
Sure.
Yeah, I wanted to just do it on my own. So that's really kind of how I found this style, and I just found all the right players, I think, in my mind that influenced me properly to get to me where I am today, I think.
So when I talk to Taylor about writing a song, it's the concept of the lyric and the melody and the bridge and the, all that kind of stuff, right? And all that coming together. Are you approaching it the songwriting the same way?
No.
So
You do have a melody, right? Like you do.
Well-
do you have melodies through?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, but
Yeah, I've been told by a lot of the players in my community I'm very melody driven. So I do spend a lot of time writing the melody for the song, and eventually a lot of the song comes around that melody. I do write it in a similar structure. I do kind of want a verse and a chorus. I want an intro and a bridge, but
a repetition that the listener can
kind of follow.
Identify.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
And so when
that's important for that type of music, I'm sure, right? 'Cause,
Oh yeah. You want to be able to follow it.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I want people to, if they can hum that melody in the back of their mind, then my job is done.
Yeah.
Then it's a song.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
These things just come to you?
Yeah. Sometimes I do spend hours and hours and hours trying to specifically sit down and write a note and and get the right bass note. Other times I sit down and I'll just start hitting my guitar and something comes, and within hours it's a song. Sometimes they just come really quick to me, and that's happened actually a few times now in Ontario in the last couple months, where I just kind of within 1 or 2 days I've written a few songs, and that's doesn't usually happen, so that was kind of exciting.
Do you find the change of scenery inspiring? I mean, I guess it's not new necessarily because you were from here, but
I'm looking at Ontario with different eyes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
cool.
I left on purpose, and I didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
And coming back, I forced myself to see it in a different perspective, and I do.
Cool.
And I think just being where I am in life and meeting all the new people I am and seeing all my old friends, it's definitely an inspiration
Good.
that I haven't had the last couple of years being away from it all.
Right.
So it has definitely helped, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we connected. This is very, very interesting.
Yeah, look,
Yeah, this is-
Dave's blushing.
Yeah, it was very eye-opening.
Just kidding.
I love
Now
this-
you're blushing.
I love discovering new. Now I'm blushing. This is ArtsTalk on 102.7 Chop FM. I'm blushing Dave Peters.
I'm Taylor Koss.
And we're in conversation with guitar player Kyle Pullan. You look like you're tuned and ready to roll there. Do you want to play something for us?
Yeah, I think we'll do a live song here.
Yeah, let's do
Awesome.
this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you want me to.
This on Facebook, are we?
Yes, we are. So
Perfect.
it's
Dial into
facebook.com/ArtsTalk Radio. And
Do it. Cool.
Yeah, as much as I like to please the ear with my music, I also try to put on a bit of a show with
Cool.
my hands. Right? It's
Yeah.
kind of not, I don't want to say showing off, but it's there's really fun techniques in the playing. It's fun to watch.
say so, yeah. You try to do this. Right?
This,
Dave, I dare you. I dare you.
the song doesn't have as much percussion as my other stuff normally does. I will have a little bit more later, but this is just a really fun song that I just wrote a couple of weeks ago.
Awesome.
Which is,
this is a world premiere.
Oh my God, you love it, Dave,
A
right?
global premiere.
Dave loves
We're gonna go. I'd say so.
Right?
Yeah,
Has
I-
any other radio station played this song?
Nope.
No, they have not.
No, they have not.
Therefore, this is a global premiere on our stock 102.7 Chop FM. This is Kyle Pullan.
All right, here we go. The right seating.
like, that's amazing. There were so many moments where I was just like, I had a lot of feelings during that. That was really cool. That was really amazing.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if that sounded like 2 people playing guitar and one person on
5.
a cajon, then it was just one guy. That was
Jesus.
so good, man.
But that's the goal. I want to fill it with as much sound as I can without overpowering anything.
Yeah, no, it's full without being busy. It's
exactly.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's rich. It's full. It's
some
like
of
it's
those
melodic.
chords you played, like
Honestly,
there was
it got some. I felt a little like a Chet Atkins groove in there, a little bit like a quiet picking thing, and then I was honestly there was jazzy bits, rocky bits.
So cool.
Really good.
There is a video of that on our Facebook,
Yeah,
so if
check
anyone
that
wants to see
video
how
out.
it's done visually, then
Because
check
I'm
it
sure
out.
it sounded awesome. It sounded great here, but you really got to see that.
Yeah, it's fun to both watch and hear. I find it's I listen to a lot of these players, and it's one thing to see them. It's another world to see it while you're listening. It's because there's just so much going on, and I've definitely put 20 years of practice into getting me to where I am, and it's nice to. I like to inspire too. I've had a lot of people come up to me after I play. They're like, "You can do that on a guitar." It's like, yeah. Like, and so can you. You just, if you really want it, you can do this. And I've inspired a lot of people to kind of pick their guitars up again and start playing because now they got something new.
Yeah.
It's kind of inspired them a little bit.
For sure.
That's
Going
amazing.
different places, touching different parts of the instrument that they never thought of touching before. Right?
I love that. I can't do it, but it was like
zoop,
the cutest little...
Yeah, like where you
so
drag down the
sassy,
G string
cheeky,
or
like,
whatever and then
awesome.
whack it. That's so beautiful.
And then, some of those chords, like, I didn't expect to hear them, and when it went there, I was like, oh my god.
It was just perfect,
really?
right?
Yes. Like,
and you
so
were doing
good.
Van Halen's hammer on pick off there?
There's a lot of that two-hand tapping. I do a lot of that in this style.
Fantastic.
Really
we definitely want you to play one more song live if you are up for it.
Oh, absolutely.
We've got about 10 or so minutes left, so
okay.
play
like a 20-minute epic or something.
Well, when I first started writing this style, I started writing my songs way too long. I was writing songs that were 10, 15 minutes.
No.
With no repeating melodies. It was like every 2 minutes was a new melody, but I made all these really epic songs, and they were working really well, and people eventually came to me and said, they're too long to play live. I'd be more than happy to listen to this on a CD, but, maybe not so long. So
5-6 minutes probably enough.
It's a different
think so.
atmosphere too, live versus on a CD when you're at home and in the right environment. That's for sure. Yeah. Cool.
So let's remind people before you start there where they can go to find this music. So
yes, absolutely. Well, you can go straight to my website, which is kylepullan.com.
Pullan.
Yes. And from there, you can buy my CD, or it will direct you to my Facebook, my YouTube. I'm not sure if it directs you to my iTunes, but I am on iTunes under Kyle Pullan. The album is Into the Wild, also on Spotify and Google Play, and basically anywhere you can find streaming music online.
How do you find sales? Are people picking it up? Are people finding it?
Yeah, I don't make a lot though.
No.
Yeah.
Streaming, you don't really make a lot of money.
No, not really.
Like, hey, thanks for that $3
yeah,
last quarter.
Yeah. iTunes takes the rest.
Man, you are so skilled. People need to hear this.
I hope people see you live more. I feel like you are a fantastic live performer, and people should see it as well.
Oh, people love watching me live. Like, I get that from my family a lot. Is they don't know who I am when I'm on stage because I go into my world, I close my eyes, I play. I'm a quiet person at home, and then I'm an entertainer, which is always kind of fun. So I've been told I put on a really good show, a fun show.
Yeah.
So if you do, I think you'd really enjoy it. So keep your ears out. All my shows are always on my website. But I am going back out west soon, but I am doing a cross-Canada tour this summer.
Cool.
So I will be back in the area for sure in the summertime.
Good.
So keep
Let
your
us
eyes
know.
open for
Come
that.
back and see
Yeah,
us
will you come
too.
back on the show?
Yeah,
Really
absolutely.
love to have
That'd
you
be
come
awesome.
back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So what are we going to hear now?
All right, so this next song I'm going to play for you guys is another really fun one. This one's off the album. That last one I played was brand new a couple weeks ago, but this one's off the album. It's called The Abyss, and this one's fun. It sounds a little darker. Actually, it's a love song. Yeah.
Naturally, it's
but
dark.
Love shoved you into the abyss.
Exactly. And I think this one has a bit more of my metal roots in it. I think just with the chords and some of the percussion, and so I hope you guys enjoy this one.
Awesome. This is Kyle Pullan on 102.7 Shop FM.
thank you so much for coming on the show. That was like such a treat.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Very cool.
Yeah, honestly, we've been doing this for a couple of years. We've never seen anybody play
No,
guitar.
not at all. Not at all.
I definitely wanted to do a really fun one for you guys there. I wanted you to see the percussion done, live. The other one I was going to play had like 2 quick smacks, so this was one I wanted to play for you guys with the tapping and kind of shows more of what I really do.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing you didn't hit with the headstock.
I know. I try not to hit that. I know a couple guys that do though.
Really?
No. I mean, I know some people that do play in behind the.
I love when people do these
nuts.
things. I love when
Like
they do
that.
that electrically too. It sounds
Oh
so cool.
it gives something new.
Yeah.
But one of the fun things I like doing on the guitar is it's debending the strings in a sense. So it's kind of like having a whammy bar, but
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I am bending the neck down to
Yep.
lose the tension on my strings, and I've seen some people that do a little too hard, and you can break your guitar doing that.
Oh,
so I've definitely
gosh.
taught myself how to,
Good to know.
I know my tension limits.
That's my only trick on the electric guitar is like, hey, I can do that.
Look at this.
thing.
Yeah.
So you can break your guitar.
Yeah.
And you know what? That would have made an awesome metal song. Did you think about a band arrangement
Oh, it's
sometimes
totally-
when you wait? Could you not hear the metal in that?
After a song is written, I can hear more to it.
Yeah.
Like I can hear so much more going on with that
Oh,
song.
yeah.
Like I love what I do with it, but I can see more happening. And eventually one day I think I want to put together more of a group that can
It might be fun
do
to do
these
that,
original
though.
arrangements and have the drums and the bass, percussion. I hear like the deeper electric guitar. I hear saxophone and violin. Like I hear
Cool.
these things to really drive the melodies harder and more melodically. And so
Yeah.
maybe one day we'll see how life goes. It's tricky enough playing it on my own, so booking gigs solo.
Yeah. But it's what you're
Seriously,
doing is
that's
amazing.
awesome.
So,
Are you going to play any gigs while you're down here? Did we ask you that question already?
I have played a bunch while I've been around. I have one more show, which is next Wednesday, the 28th. I'm a showcase artist at the open mic that's in Uxbridge at Colonel McGrady's every Wednesday night. Starts around 8:30. They started doing a showcase artist once a month, and I'm the first, so we're kind of kicking it off with me, and that'll be my last show in town.
When are you leaving?
I leave on March 6th,
Oh, okay.
so less than 2 weeks.
Pretty soon, yeah.
Back Canmore
Until I guess I come through on tour. I'll be back out here later in the summer,
Cool.
probably for August and September.
Alright.
I'll be coming back out to be with
talk
family.
to the local promoters.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, definitely connect again because
Yeah.
so glad that you got to.
Yeah, thank you
come
so
in
much for
this,
having
yeah.
me in here. This really means a lot to me. I really
It's a real
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
I'm
Thank
so
you,
glad
yeah.
I'm so glad we found each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Really something different.
We definitely got to wrap up because we are a little late. But,
All right.
But we started a little bit late. So are we going out of here with a Kyle Pullan song? Is The Wanderer a Kyle song?
That is, and maybe we want to just refresh on where everyone can find him, just in case
Yeah,
they
let's
tuned
talk
in
about
in
it
the
where
last 5
people will
minutes.
find the music. So it's Kyle Pullan, PULLAN.com.
Yes, that's my website, and from there it directs you to my YouTube and Instagram, Facebook. You can also find me on Spotify, iTunes, all the major media outlets.
Go watch it on YouTube. You gotta
Definitely.
gotta watch
I got
this
some
guy
fun
kicking,
videos on
man.
YouTube, so yeah.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
It's very theatrical. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for
It was
having me.
a real pleasure. Kyle Pullan, ladies and gentlemen. Next week,
Next week we have a Beaver Slap playing.
Beaver Slap.
So exciting! They're gonna do an acoustic set.
Are they?
Hardcore punk goes acoustic. Let's see it.
That's gonna be
pretty
fun.
exciting.
Yeah, going to be something. You want to
Yeah.
tune in for that.
For sure.
Our sincere thanks to Kyle Pullan for an amazing display of guitar prowess. You've been listening to Arts Talk on 102.7. We're going to take you out of here with a Kyle Pullan song called The Wanderer on
102.7 Chop FM.
FM.
Thank